it over to one of Roland's favorite sons, Mr. Henry Davids. There we go.
Oh, Darren, thank you very much for that introduction.
Eka, no problem, brother. I'm gonna hand it over to you. You can share what's on your mind, and I'll just jump in at the back, and we can
Yeah,
run through a few questions if anyone has. They can pop it in the comments for me.
yeah.
Is that cool?
Okay, lovely. As you say, lekker. First of all, like I said, Darren, thank you very much to you, Landy. Thank you very much to Bolan Cricket. Thanks for having me, for giving me the opportunity to come and speak to you guys. It's an honor and a real privilege, like you say. I'm not an old Bolander, I'm still a Bolander, coming from the promised land, I call it. I think Sunet, and I've been listening in to what they've been talking about, Sunet and Craig. Yeah, it's an exceptional place. I'm privileged to come from there. So I'm just gonna go. Hope it's a little bit motivational and a little push for you guys as well to what I'm going to speak about. Yeah. So to start off, I'm just gonna give you a brief like guidance that I've been playing for a long time. A lot of guys, when I first started playing with, I remember I was in the Super Academy at Poland, there in the dormitories. And some of the guys come in and they speak to you and they ask you, listen, here, what are you going to do, or how long you want to play cricket? And I said, no, maybe 10 years, 32, I'll retire. I'm 40 years old now. I'm turning 41 in January. I'm going to go into my 21st season of professional cricket. For me, that is my biggest achievement. And I think Craig mentioned earlier as well. It is cricket is not just about talent. It's not just what you do on the field. It's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work. To start off again, I'm from Boland. I'm from Pinel, but Neil Pinel. We say Pinel because it's just more, just slides off the tongue. It's just down the road there where you guys are. There's a population of about 4,000 people, and it's a sports mad little town. We've produced one, two, three, five Proteas. That's two rugby players and three cricket players. Um, so it says a lot for the place. I'm very proud of it. Like I said, it's sports mad, for the talent that it produces for such a small place, and for Boland as well. It's such a small place, and I think Craig mentioned it. Um, the talent that comes out of there, it's exceptional, and it starts with you guys, like with KFC mini cricket. I wasn't privileged enough to have the drumsticks. It was before my time. I would have loved it back then. I ate a lot. So I would have loved the KFC treats, if you can call it that. So yeah, our time was basically just spent in club cricket, growing up at Coronation. I started playing cricket in the streets, like you guys said earlier as well. In the streets, we play cricket. You were not allowed to play in the offside because there were some aunties' rose garden, and you wouldn't get your ball back. So things like that basically molded us into who we are. We had to basically train ourselves, going into it. Where now you guys are the guys teaching kids how to do things. Where obviously I come from a different era, if you can call it that, um, where we had to teach ourselves different skills. We were still climbing up the trees, swimming in rivers, teaching yourself. I got taught how to swim when my uncle threw me into well, it's not a dam, it's a self-made dam basically. So I had to swim, and I think these days you go to jail if you do that. So yeah, like I said, that was the start of my molding phase into becoming who I am today. I think all of those play a massive role in who you become eventually. And just to touch on my upbringing, still Pinel, playing all types of sport, rugby, cricket. I think I'm an educator. Um, in the position I am today because I've played so long and I've played everywhere. I've met so many people. I've moved from Boland, I've played for the Cobras, I've moved to Titans, where I am now for 11 years. And you meet different people, you meet different cultures. And for me, that is probably the most important thing in South Africa. In this day and age, we live in really, really tough times, obviously, besides COVID. I think what happens in South Africa a lot, violence, not everyone getting the opportunity that you want basically to achieve something, but that is not the be all end all. You guys are the guys that motivates young kids like me when I was a kid. I had a teacher at school which motivated me and pushed me to become better basically. in a certain way. I took it as that I've got a couple of spankings, and for me, that was the motivation to push myself to be a little bit better, basically. Um, in South Africa at the moment, like I said, we need father figures, and at the moment, you guys with KFC mini cricket, guys playing, guys like Dalen, even if we don't know it, there's kids that looks up to us. We are the father figures at the moment for the kids out there, Sorry. So we play massive roles in kids coming through. I was privileged because I had a massive support structure with being my dad, my mother, my brother, standing behind me, pushing me to go to training, not to go to training, but just to go out there and be the best that I can be. There's not enough father figures in South Africa at the moment, which pushes the guys, which pushes the young kids, and the role models that, like Craig said earlier as well. We are the father figures, we are the role models for our younger generation to be better, to prove to them and to show them that they can achieve what they want to achieve. At the moment, we have a lot of wrong role models out there, being gangsterism, drugs, selfishness, basically. And you can look at it a different way. But when I say selfishness, people just looking after themselves. We see it in cricketing circles. We see it everywhere around us. I think for us, when you're an educator, um, you're in a position where you're not there for yourself. You're there to serve our younger generation. I'm here to serve our younger generation, to try to make them be better, to achieve goals. For me personally, I don't think you can ever reach your full potential in life, because it's almost impossible. You reach certain levels where you're happy with, where you're comfortable with, but you can still go more and more and more. And I don't think you have enough time to reach those goals. You know, um, like I said, the fatherly figures for me is probably the most important things for our kids going forward. So that's where KFC has been unbelievable going forward, and I think Cricket South Africa as well, sponsoring all these events to be um, the support structure behind the kids that doesn't have those fatherly figures. Just an example of myself in my schooling career, basically, where I went to Stellenbosch High, which wasn't a sporting school, if you can call it. Obviously, the Paul and the Paul gymnasiums and the boys' eyes in the Boland area, those were the sporting schools, if you can call it that. And for me, I got bursaries offered by those schools, and I decided, no, I don't want to do it. I want to stay at Stellenbosch High, because it just put more pressure on myself to be better, and to be, to compete from having a different perspective from where you come from, and to compete against the bigger schools, to show them that, listen, even doesn't matter where you come from, even if you come from a small place like Pinel, wherever you don't get the opportunity, or you think you don't have the opportunities are there. For me, it was just the case of showing, listen, I can be the best in my position, and that was my main goal going forward, stretching out into my senior career. I was 32 when I got 30, 31 or something when I got told, listen, you might lose the talks of your contract being taken away. And for me, that was always a massive drive, and that's part of my upbringing. People doubting you, people trying to put you down, or drag you down. That was always, when someone say, I can't do it, or I'm over something, that is my biggest motivation, to prove people wrong. Not everyone is like that. I understand. But people sometimes need a little bit of a push, a little bit of comfort, and that's where the coaches come in as well. Growing up in cricket, I always believed cricket was going to be, I only wanted to play cricket, playing all different types of sports, but I knew cricket was going to be the main thing. I didn't know what it had to take, basically, or if it was going to, I didn't even think of it giving me the life that I have today. All I knew was that I wanted to play cricket. Being into, like I said, I've been playing over 20 years now, and playing for about 10 years, just something clicked, where it felt like, listen, this is not the be all end all for me. And the main purpose gradually crept into me personally, where I could see people looking at you. You don't realize it. Like, I think sometimes as sports personalities or sports people, we go through life with maskers or masks or stuff, where you don't see what effect you have on people around you. And I could see the effect that I have on little kids, on grown-ups, on everyone around me. And it just gave me a push. Listen, you can give more. Besides playing cricket, besides um, trying to put a smile on someone's face, you can be more and do more, you know. And that's when I decided to go and study executive coaching. I've studied counseling and communication. And for me, like I said, something ticked in. And now, for me, the purpose in life is to affect people, to have a positive effect on other people by influencing them, even either by through sport. For me, sport was basically the platform to go to people and have an influence, have a positive influence on them. I know it's tough if everyone just comes off the street and come and say, listen here, this is what you think, or try to motivate people, because people want like almost a personality or something to come and speak to them, basically. Because, like I said, for me, cricket was the platform for people to see, okay, this is a known figure, and for me to speak to someone, it's almost like it's easier to listen to me than to your father at the end of the day, or your coach at the end of the day, because I've played for so long. So that is a platform that I'm using, and I want to use going forward to have influence on people. And like I said, I think I mentioned it earlier, where I said I'm an educator at the moment. For me, is having influence. And the same with you guys. You guys obviously start with the kids at a very, very young age, and you have the biggest influence. I look at my kids, you know, where you say, listen here, um, you must stop doing that, and they don't listen to you. And when a teacher says you must do a certain thing, they like that. They listen. They're like robots at that time, and that's where you guys are. You know, where you have the influence on people, and they listen to you guys a lot easier than to parents. I grew up with a hand, and that was unbelievable. It helped me a lot, and I know for a fact it wouldn't have helped other kids, because sometimes being brought up by the hand or a stick or a belt doesn't work for everyone, but it worked for me. Where you guys, obviously, I know you guys are not allowed to, like with the teachers, are not allowed to use a stick or a rotang at the moment, but the kids listen to you guys. And I know it's very tough these days, teaching kids and helping them on the right path, because of all the distractions, you know, the TV games, the phones, the PlayStations, and all that. But yeah, well done. Congratulations to you guys for the time that you put in. I know you don't get the rewards that you need to get, but the biggest reward that you guys are getting is the influence that you have on the kids. You know, I can tell you, even if you touch one person's life, you've touched plenty, because that person is going to influence someone else along the way. I don't know how long I've got data in Yolandi, because I have my little Bible here next to me, which I just look and speak to, because I can speak to the whole day, basically.
Keep going, brother. We appreciate your time. If you want to speak a bit more, you can go for it. This is pearls of wisdom that you don't always get. So the floor is yours.
Thanks, Dave. And yeah, just obviously, not advice, but like for me, being at the Titans for this long, um, I know there's probably a couple of Cobra supporters there as well, and they don't want to hear it. The Titans are by far the most successful franchise in South Africa, and there's reasons why they've been doing it. Because of I've just written a couple. It's because of consistency. The team, meaning the team always comes first. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter if AB de Villiers comes in our change room. It doesn't matter if Chris Morris, if all the Proteas, because we've got a couple. When they get in there, there's no top level, middle level, ground level. We're all equal, you know, and that is the consistency and the team environment that you produce, basically. I know there's a lot of times in junior cricket where there's this one or two kids that's obviously exceptional, and it's easy to spend more time with that kid than the one that needs a little bit more help at the end of the day, you know. So, and like I said, I know it's tough. Sometimes you gotta give that kid that needs the help a little bit more attention, and that's why I think one of the reasons why, because we've looked at the simple things and the basic things very, very strictly, basically, and we tried to make that better at all times, and that's one of the things that has made us successful at the Titans. Work ethic, belonging is probably one of the most important things, you know, where like I said, junior cricket, you come in there, I don't have a bat, there's two kids that have a bat, you got to share. from our point of view, you need to push the one that has the bat, or obviously in the kid bag, to make that little kid that doesn't have that equipment just to feel that part of belonging, because that brings out himself as well a little bit more. Work ethic comes eventually. When you're young, you have loads of energy, and you'll see the ones that doesn't have the work ethic, and those are the kids that you need to push a little bit more as well. For me, one of the most important things is respect. Obviously, we all come out of different households where things are being done differently or being seen differently. For me, probably one of the stuff that I don't like is people or kids not greeting, and I think that for me that's probably the most basic and the most simple thing, where you greet an elderly, not even an elderly person or a teacher, just your teammate, by greeting properly, and this shows a lot of who you are as a person and some of the values that you've got. And it's a token of respect as well. Respect comes both ways. I can't expect Yolandi to come up and greet me first, or expect her to greet me first before I greet her. If I come to you and I greet you first, this gives you some more comfort and a bit more warmth, and it feels like that person is more approachable, and that's where your relationship starts as well. Um, relationships again. Relationship gets built obviously when you're like with the 6 and 7, 8-year-old. I look now, like we just came back from the Wild Coast, and obviously you in this day and age, you walking around with masks, and you can see the urge with the kids, the 6, 7, 8-year-old, 10-year-olds. They want to play with other kids, but the parent pulls them back, and then eventually they can see, look, yeah, you can't stop this. That's the relationships that you build along the way, where you have influence on people around you. I urge you, us as coaches and educators, to keep building relationships with kids, keep pushing them to and help them to respect not people but everything around them. If you respect the person around you, you're going to respect the things that is also around you. You're going to respect the cricket bat, the equipment. The equipment won't lie around like that, and that also discipline comes into that. I remember I threw my bat only once in my career, and I was 16, 17 years old. I was playing at Coronation at Pinel. I got out because I was back then. You're 15, 16, and you're the main light team, and you batting liquor and stuff. And I got out for cheap, and I walked to the change room. I threw my bat against the door or something, and I didn't see my dad behind me, and I just felt a little lekker harde klap in my oor, and that was the last time that I threw a cricket bat. By just knowing, listen, yeah, it's not the bat was not the fault of you getting out, basically. And also it taught me to respect the stuff that I have. Like Dylan said about the golf course, I do play a lot of golf, but whenever I play golf, I do clean my stuff. The guys, when I play with guys, was that new clubs? No, it's not. I just have a thing of looking after my stuff, and that is part of my upbringing, respecting the things that you have, appreciating the things that you have. And I think that will take us a long way, and take our kids a long way. Teaching them respect, teaching them value of certain things, and appreciating the things that comes their way. Yeah, Dylan, I think I'm gonna stop there. Otherwise, I'm gonna babble. I'm gonna babble on for long. If anyone has a question, or I'm all yours for however long you want to be here.
Henry Davids, you legend. Thanks, brother. I'm gonna get the people to clap for you. They really enjoying it.
Henry! Yes! Thank you very much. Come on!
I think there's an uncle busy watching this like the sports game. On his big screen. People really loved you, man. Very inspiring. Henry, just a few ones before we say thank you to you. 21 seasons you mentioned. 21 seasons. That is no easy feat, bro. That's absolute magic. What's the secret ingredient?
The secret ingredient is probably I've got a massive drive for cricket. I've got a passion. South African cricket, we do not have enough senior players at the moment. I don't still think we don't have enough role models. I think that's, for me, is the bigger purpose. Having an influence on younger kids, even older ones. Like I said, I've done counseling, so I'm a sports counselor at the moment, which is probably that's the next path for me going after my cricketing career. So I can see the influence that I have here at the Titans and with players. I'm working with young golfers, young cricket players, and for me, that's my passion. Obviously, I'm still playing. I still want to win games for the teams that I play. I'm still very disappointed that the Paul Rocks is not going to defend his title this year, maybe next year.
Yeah.
The Mazanzi will be there again. And just yeah, the influence that I see that I can have on other people, be it golf, be it cricket, just be it life. I know I've been put on this earth for a reason. Obviously, it was the first step was cricket, and now it's influencing people, trying to help people be better and to help them reach not their full potential. Like I said, I don't think you can ever reach your full potential because there's days where you see there's things that you do that you wouldn't ever have practiced or trained or
Mm.
it just happens. Yeah.
And you speak about working with people now. I really like that because you've got years of experience, all the wisdom, numerous situations you've been in on and off the field. Do you find that sportsmen and women now are willing to talk more about it because they are aware of the mental space that they have to be
Yeah.
in order to reach their peak?
Yes, they come out slowly but surely. I think as South African, we're a very proud nation. So I remember, like for us to speak out, it's almost like you're showing a sign of weakness, and I
Mm.
think that we need to get through that barrier where you need to understand it's not a weakness. I've got all the experienced guys coming to me, just sitting down and talking about where they are, and that's a massive step. And I think like the biggest perception we have is if you come out and try and want to speak about where you are in your career as a show of weakness, it's just going to elevate you a lot quicker to where you want to be at the end of the day.
I love that, man, and it's also important because you, as a senior player in SA cricket and in the franchise space, then opens that door for the youngster or for the
Mm.
other senior player to be comfortable and
Yeah,
not worry about the judgment. So well done, man. That's awesome. And then
thanks. Yes.
H, here's something from Sean Beloweegi as we wrap it up. I know you know Sean. Sean says, tell us about the change room chats about the KFC mini cricket kids versus Protea games and the pressure that the kids and the Proteas faced against each other.
I've played a couple where, listening to this, don't go too hard and then try to get it close. And then you can see the competitiveness come in as you see, hey, these kids are coming close. You might lose this game. You don't want to, you don't want to be part of these six guys that's there on the day that lost against the KFC. Because I think we were in Soweto. I think they won there with the national team, and we had to go play a game, and I think we won by 1 run. And I promise you, the guys were like, no, ball
Good.
quicker, hit the ball harder.
Nice.
But it's
Oh,
okay, it's great fun. And you can see the kids, the fun that the kids have when they see KG Rabada, Quentin Cock there with them, And for me, that is how you change people's lives when you get a personality of that stature come to you and just tap you, well done. And people don't realize, like, for even an educator, when for me looking up to a teacher where my dad couldn't take me to um, a trial game on the day, and my teacher took me there. And with another school, some of my other friends at other school, they weren't even there because the teacher didn't even give them the letter. Listen, you've got trials. So that was a life-changing moment. You understand? So if I didn't go there, I wouldn't have been where I am today. That other two Owens that were at the other school, they didn't even get there. So they could have been where I am today. And I think that is the small margins of influence that educators and personalities, sports personalities, and role models have on life situations, if you can call it that.
mm. As we wrap it up, Henry, a very important question here from Yolandi. Can I come for golf lessons? That's from Yolandi. She wants to know if that's on the table as well.
When I'm back when I'm in Paul again, I'll give it a couple of free. I saw her swing. I saw she was here up in the IFL playing golf. I don't know if she came to visit family or just golf, because all I saw was golf photos. She's like me now. People ask me, are you still a cricket player? Are you a golfer?
Yes, magic. And then, bro, if you can hit it over cover, you can hit it a couple of 100 yards down the fairway, so it's fine. And then, Henry, as we wrap it up, I mean, we can speak for ages about cricket. Your wisdom is just absolutely magical. Just your final parting words to the KC Mini Cricket family and the coaches.
I think I mentioned earlier as well. Just again, well done to you guys. Like I said, you do not get enough rewards for what you do with the cricket, but for what you mean to that little 6 and 8 and 10-year-old that you guys are working with. We are all fatherly figures, and I think that's what we need. You are also role models. Don't think that the Protea or the franchise cricketer or the Henry Davis or the Craig Alexanders are the only role models out there. You guys are also massive role models for those kids, and you have massive influence on them going forward. And just again, well done. You guys are changing lives. And yeah, that is probably the biggest reward that you can get by changing a little kid's life, by showing them a little bit of support, a tap on the back, and just to say well done and just being there for them. I think we don't get that enough, where we show affection by being there for someone. And I think that's the nature of the times that we're in. It's people being too selfish. It's all about me, and you forget about the person next to you. So yeah, again, well done to you guys. I appreciate for like what you guys are doing for the kids and for people out there. So yeah, again, well done. You can't get enough. You can't get enough accolades for what you guys are doing.
Henry David, you legend. Good luck with the season. It's around the corner. Next week, Monday, 4-day competition kicks off. Lots of runs your way, slip catches, and maybe the odd wicket or two, turning the offie, brother.